Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi, and anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. Okay, gonna try something a little bit different with this video. Just gonna get into the film and then kind of give some general thoughts about the game afterwards. So first things first, these are some small things, but I just want to touch on this real quick. There were some reads I noticed from Kyler that didn't look like they were great. Basically what I mean is I saw some guys getting open that he did not see. Like right when this play begins, you're going to notice that underneath there is something that is just open here. And I also should mention, you can do this on a lot of different games. Like this isn't just, one game specific. Even when players have really good games, you can typically do this, but it did seem more than expected. Although one of the reasons why I'm a little bit hesitant to criticize him too much on this is simply because I can't see what's going on entirely down the field. I don't know what he saw that made him decide to throw it. So it might have been some bad stuff by Kyler. I can't say for certain, but still, there was a read here that was wide open and would have gotten him some yards. And instead, he throws it deep, which is not very open and cannot make the completion right there. So that's just, again, it's one example of something like this happening, but I did see some of this happening. Like this one's another one of another very similar type thing. This is going to be a 3rd down and 5 right here. And what you're going to notice on this play is Kyler takes a snap, and it looks like there was a designed pick play underneath. You see Christian Kirk on this play. He is open here. However, Kyler, again, he's just going to hold on to the ball and take a sack here. That's a bad sack. He should have gotten rid of the ball, I think. I think that that's a play he should have made. Again, don't know what's going on down the field, though, so could be wrong about that. But it's something I noticed and wanted to bring up. Also, something like this was another great example of something Kyler typically gets away from and did not have it happen on this play. Typically, when there's pressure, when there's blitzes, Kyler thrives. This time, every now and then there was, this is just another good example, I guess, of something that killed a drive and typically wouldn't kill a drive for the Cardinals. You see that player I've circled in yellow. He's an unblocked pass rusher on this play, which is typically okay for Arizona. But watch how when Kyler sees it and tries to scramble out, he just can't do so and takes the sack. More often than not, he gets out of those, but good defensive play does not get out of that one. So that's just another example of kind of just some of the fluky stuff that went against Arizona that I feel like typically doesn't go against Arizona. Like this one's another one where, again, it's going to be man coverage. And one of the reasons why teams have really struggled to play against man coverage against Arizona is because really Kyler will just throw it up to a guy where he likes the matchup and they'll win that one-on-one matchup. And that didn't really happen in this one. Now, I think that a concerning thing if you're a Cardinals fan is this might not be the only time this happens because, there is the DeAndre Hopkins injury. So now trying to have like AJ Green be the #1 guy, that led to some trouble. On this play, it's a one-on-one matchup with AJ Green, and so Kyler is just going to throw it up to him. That's something, typically this is where DeAndre Hopkins comes in. This is where you have DeAndre Hopkins, and in fact, this is where teams just won't even let you get a one-on-one matchup with Hopkins. They'll double him, just making things easier for everyone else across the board. However, as you see, Kyler throws it up. AJ Green just can't get open and can't make that play. Good defense, sure, but you want to be able to convert that, and the reality is Arizona was converting on everybody on this type of stuff early on. So while yes, you do have to give credit to Detroit, you also have to stop and think, without DeAndre Hopkins, this is a different team. It was a big issue against Green Bay as well when they didn't have Hopkins. So obviously losing your superstar wide receiver, that's going to hurt you a little. I thought the interception was interesting. So what's going to happen here is another AJ Green play, and this is another one of those, unfortunately, I can't fully tell every detail of what's happening here because when Kyler does make the throw, it's going to be off screen, but what I can tell is it's a 3-man rush here. It appears to be a cover 3 zone, and AJ Green's the guy that Kyler is going to look towards on this play. So you're going to see Kyler, he does fake a handoff and even fakes a pass to his left, goes through his entire progressions, eventually throws to his right, and you see AJ Green. I think what Kyler is expecting Green to do here is to just sort of come back towards the football. However, what Green is doing instead is kind of shifting a little bit away. And it's fascinating to me because, it's not like AJ Green was ever known for someone who would make weird or bad decisions, but for some reason, him and Kyler have just struggled to stay on the same page for basically this entire time. And I don't know whose fault that is, especially because it's not really any other receiver's issue, so I would assume it's AJ Green's, but AJ Green's played with a lot of quarterbacks too and never had these issues. So what's the deal exactly? But again, look at how Green kind of just, stays off a little bit and also doesn't even hustle to try and, get a tackle there, which I would have, maybe like to see. Hey, you kind of, screw up on the route, and maybe that's all because Kyler was yelling at Green. It's very possible all he was yelling at Green for was not trying to make a tackle. I think that could be something as well. But either way, it's something that doesn't typically go against Arizona. That did go against Arizona here. So yes, Detroit beating Arizona is shocking, but they did not necessarily beat Arizona when they had their best game. There were things that were going wrong that Arizona was doing. Arizona was making mistakes. So yeah, listen, it's not the best day for Arizona. You did at least, get something going sort of towards the end of the fourth quarter. Maybe makes you feel a little bit better. I do feel like, okay, if these two teams, sometimes the way I like to view this is if this is a 7-game series like you see in hockey, like you see, in basketball, in baseball, if this was game 1, how do you feel about it? I would still probably pick the Cardinals in 5 or 6. I still would feel very good about Arizona. I think that, quite frankly, I think the Lions caught the Cardinals on their worst day, but you also have to give the Lions some credit. They're proving that they're a competent team. They might not be a great team, but they're competent. They take advantage of your mistakes. They don't make a ton of mistakes their own way. They just play solid football with the talent they have. So, again, part of that has to go with coaching. You got to give Campbell some credit. The flip side is I think that this kind of showed how important Hopkins is to this team. They're going to need Hopkins to have a deep playoff run. If they're going to have a deep playoff run, they're going to need DeAndre Hopkins there. And it's been a tough couple of losses for the Cardinals, who were looking like they were not just a good team, but maybe favorites to win the Super Bowl. Forget the NFC. So to fall short here, it's tough. I think that this is now kind of a couple games where you've seen Kyler just make some mistakes. He's made some mistakes in this one, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, that's going to happen. Your quarterback isn't going to always play perfect, and especially a guy like Murray, who does kind of have some volatility in his game. You're going to have some high highs and the occasional low low where you have several bad plays in a single game. Do I think that Kyler is, obviously he's still amazing. I would love to have Kyler Murray on my team if I was a team that needed a quarterback. As a Buccaneers fan, I'm fine with Tom Brady, but, Kyler's younger as well, so that's a stupid conversation I won't even get into. My point is, though, that you're going to just get some ebbs and flows. That's the way these NFL seasons go. Still a disappointing season for the Cardinals, though. Disappointing couple of games. Encouraging season, great season, tough couple of games, and I just think that, hey, got to get on the same page of AJ Green more, and you need Hopkins back, and you need Hopkins back quickly. I don't think the offense is really that concerning, even though I made a video about the offense. I think maybe the biggest concern is their defense. Their defense just hasn't looked great these past couple of weeks. I'm a bit concerned there, trying to figure out exactly what that is. But that's just what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.